Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just wanted to jump on here just for a second and talk to you. So this week, we obviously had our first Sunday of the year, first Sunday of the decade. Pretty amazing. Every year we try to do a word just to kind of help us keep or stay focused throughout the year. And so this year, we felt like God was leading us toward the word multiply. And on the surface level, when we think about multiply, we think about something that's just instantaneous, right? Like here it is, one day you don't see it, the next day, boom, it just multiplies or explodes onto the scene. But really what God led me to regarding this word for our church and for us as individuals was not this explosion, this sudden explosion of something happening or of growth, but it was the second definition is really what grabbed me, and it said multiply is the process of multiplication. And I know that's not super deep. It's actually pretty simple, but it's really hard for us to do. We tend to focus on the here and now, but multiply means to focus on the process. It's a process of multiplication. Paul told us in Galatians chapter 6 that we would reap a harvest in due season if we don't give up. And I think a lot of times what happens is we give up. We're so focused on the quick answer that we miss the process of sowing the seed. Right? That passage starts off and he says, don't be deceived. God's not mocked. Whatever you sow is what you're going to reap. And so my question for us is in 2020, as we're moving forward, as some of you have set resolutions and we're setting goals as a church and all of these things, are we so focused on the goal and the end result that we bypass the process? In a book that I'm reading right now by James Clear called Atomic Habits, he said we should be much more concerned with our trajectory than our current location. And I think that's so good, and it applies to us because a lot of times we look around and see where we are and we're like, I don't like where I'm at. And then we see this picture somewhere far away and we're like, I want to be way over there. We begin to focus on that, but there's a process from getting from point A to point B. That's the process of multiplication. We see the big and the fancy and all of the stuff over there. But in order to get there, we have to be committed to the process of multiplication. So whatever goals that you've set for this year, whatever resolutions, whatever word that you wrap around that as you're trying to have a fresh start for 2020, I would encourage you to not just focus on the goal and the big picture of multiplication, but focus on the small, right? The small steps, the process of multiplication.